Welcome to Universal Connections Oracle Chat. I'm Bobbi Rowntree, born medium, and this is my gorgeous friend, Erin Lee, Heavenly Messenger. Believe it or not, I'm kind of in charge today. It's like leaving the monkey in charge of the circus.
So today's going to be extra fun.
Extra fun and exciting and possibly a little bit confused. But that's okay. How are you today, Erin?
I am not in my usual, but I am here for a good time. How are you today, Bobbi?
I am. I first word that came to my head was spectacular, to be perfectly honest.
Of course you are.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah, and when I actually asked you how you were, the first word that popped in my head was gathering, which is a really interesting word when you ask someone how they are. I am gathering. It could be like, I'm getting my poop together. I'm getting my poop in the group, or I'm getting my SHIT. I don't know if both the swearing, who knows.
Well, I think we kind of come as we are, and sometimes you are swearing, so we're good.
Sometimes. Often I do swear. You're right. Okie dokie. So gathering, getting your shit together. Erin is getting her poop together today. You know how you have those days where you just like poop in a group. Thank you, Carrie. That's exactly it. Get your poop in a group.
That's right.
Have those scattered days. And what I find interesting too, Erin, is that you are feeling like this emotionally, mentally, physically, and we are marking it with your cycle and my body.
Yep.
Today. It is like, I don't know, somebody took me out in my sleep last night and strapped me to something and beat me continuously across the back.
Oh, wow.
I totally get it. So, but I'm in a groovy mood because of the weekend I have had.
Absolutely. Did you want to share a little bit about that before we get into our...
Okay, I can share a little bit about it. I can just start with this.
It's a big fan for a big fan.
It's a big fan. It's the biggest fan for the biggest fan. I don't know if anyone does not know me. I am a huge RuPaul's Drag Race fan. I actually identify with these queens because as a queen myself,
absolutely.
Actually, I think Barb Goddess on mine. I see these lovely individuals as people who are actually living what they want to live and flying in the face of all the criticisms and the no, you can't do that, and what are you doing with yourself? Because that has been what I have done since I began to become and go and be on the outside, the weirdo that is in here.
On the inside.
Yes. So I identify myself actually with drag queens.
Woo! I love it. That's awesome.
Because they live their truth. And also, too, one of the things within the drag culture that I watch and explore, and I am on the perimeter, obviously, is the love of all body types.
Cool. Love that.
2, the fly your freak flag proudly. There are no actual rules as to what you should look like, what you should be, and what is drag. And 3, living your best life, actually. And I know that sounds so cheesy. That really sounded cheesy. So I apologize for the cheese at the end of it all.
I don't know. I think that's a great way to put it, to live your best life. I like it. I know that it's been kind of like cliquey or like cliche or whatever recently, but I think that the sentiment there is still really true and accurate. And I think that's awesome.
Well, can you imagine getting over to the other side and going, I could what? And then right? And nobody would have actually killed me or hated me or said awful things. People say awful things to me, but those are people who are living in a fear-based situation. So they're saying things to me out of their own, I don't know, fears of what maybe they don't believe in, what they think they believe in quite as strongly as they think they believe in it.
Absolutely.
I don't need to bug anybody about not believing in what I believe in. Okie dokie. Yeah. I am going to say hello to people because Hello, Sarah. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Heather. Hello, Carrie. Amanda, I said hello to you, young lady.
And I just want to take a second. I love how Carrie has said hello to us, but to everybody else too. I love it when you guys include everybody.
And so everyone, because we are all a big group and everyone can see each other's comments, correct?
Yes, but I mean, we're streaming to 5 different locations. We're
Oh,
streaming
different comments, different places.
exactly. So like your YouTube page, my YouTube page, your Facebook page, my Facebook page, and the Universal Connections Facebook page. So
And then the universe all together.
yeah, exactly. It's just going out to the universe all
Yeah,
together.
and like this group of angels watching us on Angel TV, and a group of goddesses watching us in the Goddess TV.
Yeah,
For some reason, the Goddess TV is like they're all on one planet. Anyway, hello, Lisa. Hello, Shelley. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Heather. Hello, Catherine. Hello. Now, 50 Claire.
Okay, I think we also missed Tony. Hi, Tony.
I'm sorry, Tony. Did I not say Tony? I thought I had said Tony. I apologize, Tony.
Maybe.
I know
Maybe
that.
I missed it.
I know Tony. Hello, Anne. Hello, Lindsay. Often see Lindsay spelt without a D.
Yeah.
It's
Not
usually
often.
spelled Lind Z.
Yeah. So that's really cool. Awesome.
Oh, she says hello to you, quite especially. Hello, Ashley.
Oh, hi.
Hello, Lindsay. Hello, Teresa. Am I caught up? Do I have everyone?
I think so. And Anne, hi, Anne. It's great to see you. Yay.
Hello. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our newest video, our latest video, our video today.
Today's video
On Universal Connections. Now, Pat isn't here yet, but Pat actually was a smart little cookie and sent us a question.
Awesome. Give it to us.
Smart.
So actually, before we do that, I'm just going to mention we're not doing readings today. So please ask your general questions in the comments. We would love to connect with you.
Yeah. And you know what? Within those general questions, I actually think whatever you would have asked for a reading will actually get answered within the general question, because it's quite obviously something you were supposed to know. And that's why you have it in your head. Does that make sense? I'm going to say, does that make sense every 15 minutes? Just so you know. Okie dokie. So I love Pat's first question. Pat's first question was, who was walking around in the house last night?
Okay.
The first answer I heard was you.
Yeah, right.
Because you were walking around trying to find out who was walking around. And then I actually hear no one was walking, someone was floating. And Pat, I have read Pat enough times and know Pat, I know Pat to wave to Pat.
Okay.
And I know that the person that Pat comes to see is a very, very, very strong spirit who shows up at our Universal Connections quite often. Has shown up with other readings because he's a person from this valley who was popular or boisterous, or people knew him.
Well known.
Liked him. So, yeah, there's a reason for it. That's actually what I'm hearing, that there's a reason for it. Now, okay, so I walked around my house last night too. And well, I walked around my house because I am compelled to walk around my house in the middle of the night almost every night of my life. You have to do that. I get up about 3 to 4:30 almost every night. Sometimes I actually wake up because I see a picture of my cat in my head. I swear to you, when my cat wants in, my cat sits there and goes, Mommy.
She gives you the telepathic message.
Yes. And then also, Marie wants in. I get up and she's always right there on the porch, or she's hiding so that the whatever strange animal she thinks is around here doesn't come and eat her. Anywho, but it's almost always at the exact same time. And few times actually, and I've told you this before, and it's at certain times, I'm told, go look out the window, go look at the moon. Yeah. Because they want me to do that. Now,
right.
I think possibly a similar thing was happening with Pat.
Interesting.
And I would assume that a similar sort of thing happens with you. It might not happen in the same way, but it happens.
The only time I walk around at night is when I'm sleepwalking. So I'm not actually aware of it. And for me, it's an indication that my anxiety is acting up and that I need to so I tend not to be woken at night like that for those types of things. I've got a lot of rules around that, because for me, sleep is such a difficult thing that bothering me during my sleep time is not okay.
So it's unfair. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I think, okay, go ahead.
Well, for me, the spirit realm doesn't have physical body that they need to take care of. And
Mhm.
so, any time of day it is really kind of irrelevant for them. But for me, as a person with a physical body and physical needs, I need to sleep. So I'll make time throughout the rest of the day to make connections, but not during my sleep time.
Okay, that makes sense. And actually, you know what? Okay, this hopefully it's not too off track,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
and I've said it before that my spirit guides will let me know about things by hurting me physically or
Right.
having
Yeah.
me hurt myself. And once I was just about to do a video, and I went to do that, and I whacked my head so hard, and
No.
I freaked out. I said, "That is enough. I don't want to hear this way anymore." And it actually, the painful ones, like the whacks and the slaps, stopped.
Good.
So me setting that intention, because I had always said, oh, they're always hurting me and whacking me and they use me and things like that, and that increased it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay, so that was kind of an aside, but at the same time, now I expect to be woken up in the middle of the night. And when they wake me up, I remember what I was just dreaming, and I think about that. And then when I go back to sleep, we build up on that because I receive a lot in my dreams. I receive the underlying thing that then I see in the day. They could be doing that to Pat as well, but as soon as I see it with Pat, all I can see is porn. So it could be a similar sort of thing.
So so I think probably the way that I would have put that into like a general question is how to, when you are being woken up at night or their presence is around, that how do you figure out who it is or what the message is?
And you know what is that actually is her follow-up question. Her follow-up question is, and I've been smelling a smell I don't recognize, a perfume or cologne I do not recognize.
Right.
Because when I look at that for Pat, all I see is Pat's spouse. And I don't know that Pat would pick out her father-in-law's cologne.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I actually think all of this is your spouse, Pat.
Yeah. So when I have somebody who asks me, who was around at night, like the general questions that I ask is, who pops into your head? What kind of energy comes up? What does that remind you of? Because, each person's energy feels completely different. And if you think about yourself, say, standing at like the kitchen counter, for me, that's a big one when people walk up behind me. When I'm standing at the kitchen counter, I'm doing something, I'm not really paying attention, but somebody walks up behind me and I can feel their energy, not necessarily having heard them, and I can identify who it is within like my close family or close friends, because everybody has a different feeling. So that's part of what I would ask is, who does it feel like? What does it feel like? And ask those questions.
Yeah, and the only reason I felt that it was connected to Pat's spouse is because I keep seeing him in my head, because I visually know what he looks like.
Yeah. And so that can be a way that we get messages too, is like seeing somebody in your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And yeah. So yeah, Pat,
awesome.
You can try to message me. All right. So thank you very Pat for our first question.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got lots of questions coming up here. Oh my
goodness gracious, there are lots of wonderful questions that are coming in, and I'm going to start at the start.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Teresa's out for a walk, so she's hoping not to lose us.
We hope you don't lose us too. We hope we stay with
you. Lose us. Yeah, don't lose us. My goodness. Lose us on the world. Okie dokie. Sarah's wondering if her dad got a message for her dad's birthday yesterday on the other side. I don't know why, but somebody's stopping my throat. Now, messages on the other side. The fact that she is celebrating his birthday to me is a wonderful thing. Agreed?
Yeah.
People like to celebrate the death day. And people on the other side always say to me, my death day. Why?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, say a person's lived 80 years. I'm just pulling a number out of a hat. They've lived 80 years. And over that 80 years, probably they've celebrated at least 75 times. That day, that is more meaningful than the day that they passed, would be my feeling.
And when you think about the birthday, you think happy. When you think about the death day, you think about how crappy it is to lose someone you love. That's that's what you think about. So and I used to do that. I used to make a pilgrimage every anniversary of my father's death, I would go to the town that he crossed over in, and I would cry and I would stare and I would not move forward until I started now I actually don't even, I say happy birthday to him on his birthday, but every day is, because heck, not getting any older. I'm going to go younger than me. I'm going to be like, who are you, young man? What's going on here? Anyway.
Well, and I think it's important to celebrate just in general, like not only our loved ones who have passed and who have crossed over, but we spend so much of our time, I think, looking towards what we need to do next, or what we're wanting to accomplish next, or what we're wanting to focus on next, without taking the time to really celebrate where we are. Because if we look back 6 months ago, like in the past, and we look at where we are now, there is a lot to celebrate within that time.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So much growth and movement forward. And I agree completely. We do. I am terrible for it. I am learning my lessons right now, but because honestly, everything that we're taught actually teaches us that we absolutely must be obsessed with the past, where we have been, and what, just in the keeping of antiques, which I have absolutely nothing against. I have antiques.
Yeah.
I don't think we make things as pretty anymore.
That's right. Or as well made.
And it's well made. And actually, just to go right back to Sarah for 5 seconds, because the little voice in my head said she wants to know if her dad knows it. And I saw a candle being blown out.
Oh, interesting.
So Sarah might want to keep an eye on candles being blown out just suddenly.
Very cool.
It already did happen, and that was your dad blowing out his candles. Or if it's about to happen, he's trying to tell you, I saw the birthday.
Beautiful.
And I celebrated it. So I actually saw that, so I wanted to add that just in case I forgot to.
Awesome.
All right. Now, Deanne is wondering if, any messages, family and friends, do they come to visit with me? Okie dokie. So we can actually answer that in a general way.
Okay.
The other side. And you've even talked about it just now. We all get visited by our dead. Okay. They actually tell me, they tell me to tell people that they are their TV.
Yes.
And we actually do that. I just got a flash sitting next to you and saying, we're the reality shows. Yes.
Right. We talked about that last week too.
We're Big Brother, Survivor, and RuPaul's Drag Race. I'll roll in the line.
Oh my gosh, all of the drama. So actually, that to me begs the question, how a lot of us will look to our deceased loved ones on the other side for help and love and support and guidance. Is there a possibility that there's enough ego that's left over that they'd point us in the wrong direction to get the drama going so it's more interesting?
You're asking. Yes, I've actually talked to people on the other side and gone, would you have asked them for advice when they were alive? Because I'm not sure about this advice seems self-serving to me. Or this advice seems to want to push you towards this idea rather than what might actually help you. Because I'll even say, if you don't go to them for advice when they're alive, do it when they're dead.
Exactly.
Say, hi, how are you doing? Can I please talk to my spirit guides? Come with me. That's
absolutely. Absolutely. Because
spirit guides,
because they still maintain part of their ego, part of their humanness. And so they're not that far removed from us and where we are now.
Yeah, the only thing is they have a higher perspective of everything, but they're on a need to know basis. They're in a hush hush. Yeah. They can't say, hey, by the way, you should do this and this and this. They do kind of to an extent, but they don't tell you where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah,
so to speak. That was a really terrible metaphor. So yes, Deanne, your loved ones do it. And if you want to know it's them, first off, when you see something, a dime, a bird, the smell, oh my gosh, this last couple of days, my aunt has been letting me know she's there by giving me the overwhelming feelings. Oh boy, have I had some overwhelming feelings in the last little while. And then I say, it's just that she's here, and I flash to me telling you guys that. So I can remember, because I have to get retold because when it becomes personal. So the flash of memories, the whoa, and the heart. I had a really heavy duty experience watching a movie actually the other day. which I was like, oh my gosh. And it became so strong that I knew my dad was there to even help me get through that moment in that movie.
That's really powerful. That's lovely.
It is. And but getting through the moment, because the moment in the movie was a daughter seeing her father's apparition in front of her. It's Ghostbusters Afterlife, actually. Yes, Ghostbusters Afterlife almost sent me into trauma.
Yeah, I believe it.
All I was doing was I was watching this movie thinking, this is so wonderful. I can't wait to watch this again. And we get to the last minutes of the movie, I'm like, I'm never watching this again. This is torture. Yes, you're right. I can't openly explode. I'm the adult, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but I did see my dad across going, I'm here.
Yep.
And I was like, you're too much. I can't. And so, yes, that's it never grows old. It never gets, I want to say it never gets better.
Yeah.
It does. It gets much more tolerable.
Yeah.
But those feelings, they can bring you right back to that day. You're 16 years old and you're in it for the first time and things like that. Yeah. So so pay attention to those things. And when they do them, say, oh, groovy. Kind of like you do with your angels. I think it's the same thing.
Absolutely. The more that you recognize and acknowledge that they're there, that it's happening, that they're doing these things, the more that it will continue to happen. And I mean, we talked about this last week as well, but it truly is like somebody standing with a microphone up in front of an audience saying, testing, 1, 2, 3, does this work? And everybody just sitting there blankly and looking at them. You're not going to progress further until somebody says, yeah, I can hear you. Great. Yes. Let's get started.
And then they start talking. Oh, that's such a beautiful way of putting it. Yeah. And actually, since you started picking out 444, because I've always seen angels as 111 or 1111,
right?
And now it's 444 everywhere, to the point actually where I saw something and it was 444, and I thought, that darn Erin, she's put this new thing in my head, and I turned on this, and there was, I do not lie to you, a young man with a T-shirt that said,
I love it.
Wow. And you have to do all by myself.
Yeah. And for me, ones are all about manifestation, right? Okay. It's not about angels for me. It's all about manifestation. And what are you thinking on? What are you putting your energy into? Or things are coming together. Like, it's a confirmation. But 444 is like, yeah, hey, we've got your back.
Yeah. And now that you said it, I see it so much more now. It's amazing how they're like, oh, goody, you globbed onto that.
Yeah.
We're moving.
Now we can use that for you.
Yeah, because I actually think they're doing that to us because we are working together, and they're like, oh, let's make them share a brain. So,
I just want to take a moment and apologize to you right now, Bobbi, that we're getting to share a brain. Because
you're apologizing to me? I just ask anyone, which brain would you want to have for the day? Erin's or mine? I mean, come on, you want to find your thoughts?
Well, that's only the brain that you see on the surface, right?
That is true. Yeah, that is only the brain you see on the surface. You'd be like, wow, Bobbi thinks like this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna move on to
Ange. Awesome. Okay. So
Ange, okay.
You go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So I am wondering about signs from the universe. I've been getting them from all directions about a life-altering decision. Is this normal? Mm-hmm. And it's aggressive. I like that. Then your spirit guides really want you to listen, and really want you to listen. What are they saying? Do you get it? I don't know. But yes, they can be very aggressive, can't they? Especially when it's, I hear life-threatening in my head.
Well, one of the things that I would look at and would ask about that is I would clear some space. Like if you're wanting something that is really resonant with like your soul and what is in your best and highest good, I would clear some space and invite in who you're wanting to connect with to help make that choice and decision. Is there a deceased loved one that you want help and support from? Do you want like help and support from angels or from God or from spirit guides? And bring that connection in, or only those connections in and ask, what is it that I need to know about this that's in my best and highest good?
Excellent advice. It actually flashed something I did this morning.
Yeah.
I saw something again and I said, Dad, is that true? Because I trust him over everyone else.
Yeah.
I always know when it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I think it's an angel, I'm like, you're kind of yes, though. I'm not quite sure. But when I know it's my dad, Yeah. And I even know when it's my aunt now, and she did not cross that long ago. And I just gotta like, in life, she was ridiculously dynamic, and in death, she does not lose 1 second of her inertia. Like,
yeah, just there.
Just there. She's like, what? Yeah, how am I doing this? Yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that's what Anne should look at too. Call to, the source you can trust.
Yeah.
And just point blank say, is this it?
Yeah.
And give them a yes or no, I find.
Yeah.
Don't even give them a yes. If it's yes, I'm sorry, don't even give them a no. If it's yes, show me, boom, 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 and show it to me outside of me. Don't tell me inside, because I will say, oh, but I thought that.
Well, now I'm going back to a time when I also had a really big decision to make. And as soon as I found out that I was in this circumstance, immediately it was something that would have put me into like an anxious, oh my God, spiral. Like, what do I do? And it truly, it was also life-altering choice and decision. And immediately I had a sense of calm come over me. Now, one of the primary ways that I receive intuitive messages and information is through clairsentience, which is feeling. And it was like this calm came over me, and I knew, which is also another primary way that I receive messages, is through knowing. I knew exactly what I needed to do. And even though in the past there would have been conflict for me around making that choice and that decision, it was just there. It was straightforward and it was easy. So, I mean, if you're accustomed to seeing messages outside of yourself, then yes, absolutely ask for a really clear sign. But I think that you can also ask for a message in whatever form you receive your intuition. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever speaks the best to you.
Exactly. Whatever you're going to recognize.
Ask for. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I hear in my head and I see the pictures.
Yeah.
Which is really, really, if you say red apple, now I see a red apple.
Yeah.
Is that the power of suggestion? Is that I want to see a red? Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, absolutely. I agree with you completely. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting. Like, there are the 4 primary clairs. There's clairsentience, which is clear feeling. There's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. There's clairaudience, which is clear hearing. And there's claircognizance, which is clear knowing. And like, I'm a hearer, or pardon me, no, I'm a feeler and a knower, and you're a seer and a hearer. And I think that's really cool that we can bring both of those sides together.
I know. Together we are a complete square.
Well, I don't know. I heard when you said that, I heard be there or be square. And you don't want to be square. You want to be there. So, and together we're there.
Yes. Together we are one circle.
Right. That's right. I would rather be round than square. Awesome. Yes,
or oval. Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
Phyllis is asking a question. Phyllis Shaw. I think that's very much a reading question.
Yeah.
I do not want to steer Phyllis incorrectly.
Yes. One thing that I'll say, so Phyllis has asked, why have I been falling so much lately? And immediately what I heard was actually we have secondary chakras in the lower part of our body, specifically in our knees and in our feet. And anytime we are like tripping or we have injury in those areas, it usually means that it's time for us to slow down, to pay attention to things. But all that said, it does feel like that's definitely more a reading question, or potentially one to check in with a healthcare professional about as well.
Yeah, because actually, I see her ear. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking tinnitus and inner ear or something.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that too. That actually, what Phyllis might want to do is actually speak to someone
check in
physical body.
Yeah. And just check in and see what's going on.
And that's what they deal with the physical body. Not just your name. Right. Okie dokie. Heather hates that she doesn't remember her dreams. What do you do to try to remember your dreams? Because I remember my dreams, whether I like it or not. I can even actually be in the middle of my day and go, oh,
and it will just hit. Yep.
Yeah. So how do you? Because I have heard having a pad and paper next to the bed and just writing stuff down the minute you wake up, because it all is actually there. You're the only one blocking it.
Right. Yep.
What do you do, or do you not? Do you remember your dreams?
I've never really focused on trying to remember my dreams. My feeling is that for myself, if I'm not remembering it, I wasn't supposed to remember it.
Yeah, good call.
But like you, sometimes throughout the day, something will tweak for me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I had that experience, and then the dream will come back. But if you are actively wanting to remember your dreams, set the intention before you go to bed at night that you want to be able to bring what's happened on a subconscious level while you were sleeping, to bring that to the forefront, to bring that into your conscious awareness, so that you're able to remember what you experienced.
Yeah, because my brain says, because it's something obviously you want you to know.
Yeah.
And I meant to say the use twice.
Yeah.
I meant to. Yes. And this isn't even on the same topic, but I just picked this up.
Yeah.
One of you, and I'm pushing it between my ladies.
Yes. What was it? Was it selenite?
No, it is moonstone. It is one of the beautiful ones that our wonderful friend Carrie.
Awesome.
Who, for some reason, I always say the last name Kalawaychuk. I don't know why. I add in. Carrie sells the most beautiful, charged, and actually, get crystals from lots of different places, but get your crystals from an actual person who knows crystals, who loves crystals, who actually is supposed to be brokering crystals. They mean so much more. Every time she gives me a crystal, I'm like, oh, wow.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to throw it out there. It could be a really cool service for Carrie to have if people just send her like a budget and say, hey, choose the crystal that's for me right now. That would be amazing.
She absolutely could do that. She could absolutely just hear someone's name and then get told which crystals that person needs and put together a crystal box for them. So, Carrie, we've just started a different part of your business.
Yep, that's right. We'd love to see it. And as soon as I get things up and running on the website, we will definitely ask for your information for that.
Yes, yes, and everyone else who has, like Sarah, if you want, we could display some of your artwork on there. If you have a business and you are an Aura Kelly and you're a part of our community.
Yeah.
We want you and your information. Okay, moving on to Heather in the dreams. Yes. JC. There's our friend JC.
Yeah, JC. I'm kind of feeling like that's a reading question, and we're not doing reading
much. Yeah,
we're not doing reading questions.
And actually, I am also hearing that JC knows how her son is. And that when she asks us for confirmation on what she already knows is what and I then hear smiles all the way. So if that's without reading you. And then, because I have met JC. I've had the pleasure of actually physically being near her. Yeah. And wow. Just like from, it was probably about 3-4 meters away. And all I could see was sunshine coming off of her, and she was coming out of a dark hallway.
Beautiful.
It was amazing. Not just the energy, the visual, everything about you, JC. And I think I even told you that.
Close.
So, yeah. And if you want him home, then they actually even show you leaving stuff like breadcrumbs, and he will.
Oh, like Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, like Hansel and Gretel, but it's metaphysical, sort of. Yeah. Because he will ask his spirit guides to guide him. He's going all spirity. Okie dokie. I hope that helps. All right. Okay. Now Jenny Dawn has a neat question. Hi, ladies. If things around the house shift, like heat turned on, things moved, is it usually when there is a message to receive? I wonder if this is just happening without meaning. That's a really good question, because it can be a haunting, in my opinion. When things get unruly here, the way the kids say it is that I haven't cleaned up after myself enough.
Right.
I have woken up because my bedroom light has been turned on.
Right.
That is annoying. I'll even say to them, now I have to get out of bed and undo what you just did. Yeah, well done you. That's what I would do. Like, aren't you wonderful that you got me out of bed, you poo?
Yeah.
What I do. But that is usually an earthbound spirit kind of behavior.
So what kinds of things do you do as a medium who has like lots of other people's loved ones in your space physically?
Mhm.
What do you do to help clear your space?
I ask the angels to clear me and the room and the house.
Yeah.
And then I ask them to clear the yard. And then
Yeah.
I ask them to clear the neighborhood because out of deference to my neighbors.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
push anyone just into their house.
Yep.
And I just believe it to be true. That's actually what I do.
Mhm.
Every now and again, though, I don't do it well enough.
Yep.
And that's when we see activity.
Right.
And the way I see it is I've brought in a rested spirit.
Mhm.
If I didn't clean up, I've sent them home when their loved one went home, or they get in the car with them and drive away.
Yep.
And then I don't realize, oh, that's right. They
Mhm.
had a bunch of onlookers come
Right.
who were like, what's going on over there? And I'm not stuck. So see, there I go. I swore.
Yeah.
So that might be, and actually, it could even be too with Jenny. There might be people in her household.
Mm-hmm.
Was it renovations?
Mm-hmm.
Cause,
Yeah. Can absolutely shake things up.
Yeah, they can shake up energy.
Yeah.
I actually just bought a Vanity off someone who was renovating a house in Victoria. And wow, could I not get away from that house fast enough? Holy cow. I was like, yeah, no problem. Not coming in. I hear you telling me not to come in. I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good.
Unless the owner says, I want this gone, then I'm coming after you. But
Right.
other than that, I'm like, yeah, you exist the way you want to scare these people.
Yeah,
Until
absolutely.
they call me for somebody else.
Yep.
They're in Victoria, so they've got a ton of people to call.
Oh man, yeah, no kidding. And just in Victoria in general, there's a huge amount of energy.
We're texting about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyone who lives in Victoria, wow, more power to you. How do you sleep at night?
Yeah, there's a lot of energy down there.
gosh. And even the minute you let your guard down, I can hear it starting again in my head, and it's a manipulative diatribe of blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it could be that Victoria is very packed.
Mm-hmm.
It's so packed. It's like if you took all of Winnipeg and squished it into one little ball. That's what it feels like, because they're both very old cities to me. They feel very similar. Yeah. Anyway, so and even I've had relatives from Winnipeg come. This kind of like Winnipeg, but wow,
feels like home.
And people are people in Winnipeg smile like crazy. Anywho. So yeah, I feel that, and then actually texting with you, Erin, maybe better.
Good. Awesome.
Because of the identifier you put upon it. Because the things that sometimes they'll get into my head, and as I'm starting to fall asleep, they will start to have fun with my worst imaginations.
Absolutely. And part of the reason that happens is because you're in the place where you're transitioning from being fully in your conscious mind to being fully in your subconscious mind. And so it's actually, it's kind of helpful in a way that it's happening at that time, because you're still in that half and half place where you can deal with it instead of having to process it all through your subconscious mind.
Yes. Instead of being fast asleep going, poof.
Yeah, exactly.
What the heck? Yeah, and it was the worst case scenario, because there I was in a room with just me and my daughter. And I don't care what you do to me, but leave my daughter alone. And it was me going, just run.
Yeah.
I think all of you ladies can just go, okay, I kind of see where you're going. And it is, and then that was part of it's a very dominating energy. It's a very sexual energy. It's a very because there's been a lot of victimization on the soil of Victoria. But anyway,
absolutely. Well, and one of the other things that we were talking about that night too was space clearing. And at the time I was listening to Denise Lynn's audiobook. I think it's I can't remember the whole name now, but it's all about space clearing, and it's the more recent of her novels on it, or her books on it. And so if you have a space either that you live in or that you work in that you are wanting to clear and shift the energy of, I would highly recommend checking out the book. So
Can we talk about the coinky dink with that though too?
yes, absolutely. You go for it. You go for it.
I messaged Erin about this situation because when I have a metaphysical situation, I message my friend Erin. Like,
and I talked to Bobbi about my stuff too.
Yeah, because then I don't think I'm as crazy. Because you'll actually say my crazy to me. I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't even have to say that to her. I'm not. Anywho, so it was my daughter and myself that were my biggest concern. And then Erin brings up this book by a woman named Denise Lynn. My middle name is Denise. And my middle name is Lynn. I just thought that was weird.
I think that's perfect confirmation. To me, that's a confirmation that, yep, this is somebody to look into.
Yeah, and that was the right information that I needed at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Erin is very good at giving me the right information that I need at that time, every time. Yes, that's true. Okie dokie. There is Linda from Lake Cowichan.
Hi, Linda. Ooh, this is a good one.
Yes.
This is a really good one.
Yes, very, really, really good. But this is like across the board. Everyone needs to know because many of us grew up watching Sesame Street, which was moving into this idea of the quick change mind. And I love Sesame Street, but they did that on purpose to keep kids engaged.
Right.
The kids can only pay attention for a certain amount of seconds.
Yep.
So they would change the visual every few seconds to keep kids looking and looking and looking. And it totally worked. And the lovely thing about Sesame Street is I learned how to count to 10 in French because of Sesame Street.
Yes, me too. Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10, 11, 12. We probably learned to count to 12, actually.
Yeah. There are many things that I learned because of Sesame. I learned how being me is the best me I can be from Ernie and things like that. Anywho, it's been helpful, but it, like our phones, like our microwave society, I know people who cannot even listen to an entire song anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, I don't want to go all the way through, especially since it's an 80s song, and they're just gonna go la 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 for like 10 minutes at the end.
Next,
of any Journey song. So I think that somewhat to a certain extent, we're already coming in with a difficulty when we try to meditate.
Right. And I just realized that for everybody who's watching, we didn't go through and we read Linda's question. So I'll quickly read the question so that people know what we're talking about. Yeah. So Linda asked, I want to know how to settle an active mind down to learn to meditate. And what is your favorite meditation to open self up to spirit? Okay. Resume.
Okay. Oh, resume. Okay.
Resume.
Right. Okay.
Back to you.
Monkey mind goes right back to where it was. Okay. Oh, I could use that actually, because everyone can tell and see that I have a crazy mind. I am all the time, constantly. Yes, I have ADHD. Anywho, but what I can actually do, I'm so used to working with it that I don't see it as a trouble. I actually see it as a advantage that I have. So I use it in my meditation.
Yeah.
So I don't try to make it all stop in my meditation. Yeah. I actually try to decide, okay, we're all going to try to be on the same page today.
Mm-hmm.
So even if, and this has been because I chakra clear, that is the one that opens my up to spirit. That would be that one too. Yep. And within those chakras, what I was finding, now I actually do it on my own and I actually do the sound of the chakra because be more focused.
Yep.
But things will start running in my mind. And what I've noticed is, oh, wait a minute. That is a situation in my life that is pertaining to that chakra. Thank you very much. And then it's gone.
Yeah.
And then I keep moving and moving and moving and moving. It doesn't happen each chakra, but when it does happen, I say, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Where do I say that? I just say thank you. And it just disappears. And then I move forward.
Yeah, because you're acknowledging that it's there and that it needs to be acknowledged and understood. And then you can move on and move forward.
Yeah. Which is what Kavita Maharaj, who was the yogi who taught me to be a yogi and taught me to meditate, would say, and I'm going to recreate Kavita's accent. She taught us this meditation, or we could not move. It was
that would be really challenging.
To move at all.
Yeah.
She would say, if you feel you have an itch, acknowledge the itch and move forward. And I would be like, Kavita, I did not have an itch. Now I have an itch.
All over, I itch.
Oh my golly sakes. But then I was like, I can't move. I want to be the number one student. So I would sit there thinking she was staring only at me and not move. And it would disappear because I would start thinking about not moving instead of the itch.
Right.
And then I would be back in my meditation that would slowly take me to where I am. So yeah, you can come out and you can go back in, but you have to, in my opinion, for a crazy mind, acknowledge your crazy mind, invite your crazy. It's like with a toddler. Expect the toddler to sit still. But boy, are you happy when a toddler can do this.
Right.
And that's it. About yourself.
And I agree with that too, that if you've got a really active mind, acknowledge that it's active and then bring it back into alignment. When you notice that your attention is going off somewhere else, then okay, it's off over there. I'm going to bring it back into what I'm focusing on and what I'm concentrating on. And over time, that process will become easier. The other thing that I was going to say too is there are lots of different forms of meditation. And if your mind is really, really active, one, giving it something to focus on can be helpful. And so, I mean, like going through and doing a chakra, that makes sense because you're focusing on the chakra, you get something, then you keep moving. Or actually doing a physical meditation, one where there's movement or where you're coming into awareness of your body. Those can also be really helpful, particularly actually for people who are clairsentient. The more that you come into your body and you're allowing yourself to be present in your body, the more that things open up. So
did you find a difference when you did do yoga for the little while that you did?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, for me, there's a lot that happens in my physical body. And I think that when you're uncomfortable, when there's pain in your physical body, we tend to want to like shut it off and shut it down. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm noticing a massive difference in my yoga and my physical body, but that's a topic for another day. And yeah, noticing a massive difference. Jerry's here.
Awesome. Hi, Jerry. It's great to see you.
Because I think Shelly was already here. Sarah, but I'm not sure. Hi, Shelly, if I didn't say hi to you before, and I apologize.
I
swear I just heard her in my head say hi back. Well, my daughter cat out 3 days ago. She let the cat out.
Yeah, let the cat out, or the cat got away. Yeah.
She wants to know if her cat, last night he came back, but looked really rough. Just wondering if
in a dream.
Injury.
Oh no, I think the part that was missed was that it was in a dream. That in a dream he came back in a dream. Yeah. And in the dream he was looking really rough, and just wondering if that means that he's gone or if he'll be back.
Oh, okie dokie.
That's a tricky one because I'm hearing that it's not time to know yet. Just that there's still activity that's happening. That's kind of what I'm getting with that one, because I'm asking, from a bigger perspective, how do we ask about dreams and about what they mean?
Yeah, and I'm actually seeing Shelly look behind her house for her cat. So if there's like woods or something, he actually could be hiding, because sometimes cats can get into a position where they know raccoons are around. And they have to hide, or they just got into an argument, a physical altercation with a raccoon.
Yeah.
And they're licking their wounds and they're hiding because And I only say raccoon just because raccoons are like the biggest perpetrator. They're the only ones who can beat cats.
Right.
They're the only ones just as mean.
I grew up.
Tiny little hands. Like
I
cats
grew up.
have these ways to come out. Raccoons actually have them in there.
Yeah, the little hands.
Yeah.
I grew up in a place where we had coyotes, so raccoons were definitely not the only things that could get at cats.
Yeah.
We
No,
lost a
raccoons
lot of
back
cats to the coyotes.
yeah. Mainland is coyotes like crazy,
Yeah.
especially the interior. Yeah, you can watch
Yeah.
your dog be taken away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we've
exactly.
got here. Oh, so
Exactly.
many fun things. So yeah, you might yeah, and I don't know if your cat comes to a bell. Why are you ringing a bell in my head? I don't know.
Well, that could be, sometimes people will put bells on their cat's collars if they're birders. Like if they go after
No, I know
birds.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
they show that she's ringing a bell.
Oh, I see. Cool.
Yeah, but Shelly might know why,
Yeah.
actually. Okie dokie. Now, Jerry asked, I watched movie alone, so I watched the movie alone.
Yeah.
Too much connection. Have you seen this movie?
Pardon?
Have you seen the movie Alone?
Oh, Alone. Oh, I thought Jerry was saying. That she watched on her own. The movie is Alone. I don't know that I've heard of that one.
You know what, Jerry? Can you please clarify that? Because
I'm not 100% sure what is coming up. And that message came through about a half hour ago. But anyway, so hopefully Jerry's still here.
Oh gosh, we're so low. We're back. Okie dokie. Now, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, should I just zip forward, or should I go one by one?
We can. I notice here Amanda has a question, and I think she actually asked it right at the beginning. And she's asking about blood types.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I was just on the exact same one.
Yeah, blood types are not something that I have any knowledge about from like a spiritual perspective or point of view. How about you?
I don't, but someone has said something to me recently about some sort of link with blood types and things, which I could completely understand that there would be a correlation.
Interesting.
I actually just finished a video on ancestors and the root chakra and how your blood, and because my theory about blood and psychic abilities,
right?
So that would make some sense.
Cool.
I am ashamed to. I think I'm. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I know that I am the best. I am the best possible blood type because I am B positive.
Oh my golly sakes. Of course you are.
That's so corny. Oh dear.
But of course you are. Be positive.
Be positive.
Yes.
It's in my blood.
Yes. And anyone else, you know what? Thank you, Amanda. We can research that one because that's something we don't really know about.
Yeah, because I know nothing about it from a spiritual perspective and point of view, certainly not enough to be able to speak on it. So
okie dokie. All right. Now Ange gets what they're trying to say.
Yeah, okay. Definitely Mom sending another unexpected gift on her death day. Yeah, gifts from the other side for sure. I get that.
Yes. Okay. Now, Carrie is asking a really good question. If you don't get to say goodbye to a loved one and need closure, what do you suggest doing? Actually, I got one answer. Letting it go.
Okay, give it to us. What did you get?
Let it go. They don't care you didn't say goodbye.
Right.
Yeah. The people on the other side don't very often talk about the way they crossed. They talk about the life they led. And unless something happens that they need to talk about the way they crossed with you.
Right.
Like there's some sort of significance having to do with that crossing. But even murder victims they don't care who killed them.
Interesting.
That's an earthly thing. It does not matter.
That makes a lot of sense because often I'll talk to people who have had a loved one crossed over and they've got a lot of regrets over like the relationship that they had or where things were left. And almost always, I think 99.9% of the time, the person on the other side is like, that's earth stuff, that's human stuff. It doesn't matter to me. So the only person that it matters to is the people who are left here, and do with that what you will. If you want to continue to live in guilt, then you go ahead and do that. but know that the guilt isn't something, or the anger isn't something that's being held onto by the person who's on the other side. They're like, no, don't. Why waste your time?
Yeah. And actually, a lot of people, especially parents, will die before you get there, or they'll wait till you go to the bathroom, then they'll die.
Right.
Because there is an expulsion of every fluid in the body. They do not want you to see that. They go to the bathroom and they don't want you to know about it. It's kind of gross. They'll even wait till a perfect stranger's in there, and people will be like, the nurse was in there. Like, yeah, because the nurse isn't like, oh my God, you smell.
Right.
That's why they don't want you to see them that way.
I don't want you to remember me that way.
Yeah, I kind of wish I hadn't seen this. My dad in the hospital. Oh my gosh, he just gave me that look. I'm in trouble. Because I can't get that out of my head. Cannot get that out of my head. There was a tube bringing his brain coming out of it. I can never not know that now. So yeah, they don't sometimes want you. I wish I hadn't. I wish I had seen him like I'd seen him, that big, strong, virile man who I thought could do anything.
Yeah.
Lift anything. So yeah, sometimes that is why you miss the goodbye. You never ever miss the goodbye. All you have to do is go, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or talk to me. Yeah. Could I have a toonie? Yeah. Things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I think with inflation, I think that instead of leaving dimes or toonies, we should be getting like $5 bills.
This is not Moonstone.
I'm putting it out there. $5 bills.
I agree. This is not Moonstone.
What is it?
It's black and white tourmaline.
Oh, I love that.
No wonder I got for it. Black and white. Now, okay. Riddle me this. Black tourmaline's for grounding.
Yes, it is.
White tourmaline? Is that for opening the chakra?
I'm not sure. But you know what? It's really interesting. You know how sometimes Moonstone has little black flecks in it? That is tourmaline. It's black tourmaline. So I wonder, actually, I can't imagine that the Moonstone would be a tourmaline. I don't know. We'd have to take a look at that and check it out.
And you know what? Now that I look at it and I see my Moonstone in my brain, because my Moonstone's around the corner over there, it doesn't have the
sheen.
Shiny? I think of little dots in a Moonstone, like the craters in a moon.
Interesting.
They're not little dots, but they're slight little variations in the pigment of the stone. So I should have known that. This is white tourmaline. See, there you go, Carrie. Now, Carrie, why did I pick it up? Hello, Kristen. I apologize, Kristen.
Awesome.
My friend Kristen. People used to call her Kirsten. Christine.
Yeah.
It's like Tanya.
Right. Yeah.
So I apologize. I think Kristen, it's actually spelled Kristen. She's looking for messages from her sister. Honestly, the first thing that popped in my head was, you don't need me. You share more DNA with your sister than any other human being on the planet. If anyone can talk to your sister who's on the other side, it's you. Yeah. And we're not doing readings today. I'm sorry. Yeah. But give your sister specifics and she'll be able to fill them for you. Yeah. Especially since sisters have this sort of way of being so cruel but loving with each other at the exact same time.
Right.
And no one can actually get right in there like your sister can. Or do you want to?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's true of family. Sorry?
Give me this.
That's right. We were talking about your cushions.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
I'd walk through fire for your sister. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. I can't read all of it. What does it say?
Well, not fire. That would be dangerous. But a super humid room, but not too humid because, my hair. That's which is actually something she would say to me. I'd be like, Lita, help me. She's like, Frizz?
Let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's what my sister would say. I know my sister well enough that she would say that. Hello, cool Shaylee.
Shaylee, hi. It's great to see you. Thanks for
joining us. We are good. Thank you. How are you?
And I just want to put it out there. Carrie Teresa's saying that she's going to sign up for a crystal box. So
you got to start crystal boxes. Oh, there we go. Crystal box. Oh my God. It'd be such a cool Christmas present to give someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't it though? A crystal box?
Would. A crystal box. You just give the name and I don't know what else Carrie would need. Yeah. Birth date or help her for
the energy. Just pick it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Golly sakes. What a great idea. I wish we had thought of it.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Awesome.
She's on it. Carrie said Teresa Lowe. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well,
All right. So are we going to Lisa?
sure. That's the next question.
All
No.
right. Okay. So Lisa's saying almost every night I have visits from 3 same spirits in my dreams. They pick me up and we go out and have fun, whether it's a pub dirt road towards the river or in a restaurant. And sometimes one particular spirit takes me flying. I wonder if they're just visiting me or if they're trying to tell me something. I wake up happy, sad, upset, but grateful for the visit because it seems so real. All right.
Oh, honestly, I know Lisa.
Uh-huh.
Haven't seen her in a decade, but I know Lisa. And I know that Lisa has suffered a significant loss. She was widowed.
Oh, I'm
And
so sorry.
Lisa, I hope that wasn't too much of your information I just gave out. So I apologize. But honestly, I actually think they're trying to tell you to step it up a little, that there's more to you than meets the eye. I think that they are taking you places and actually trying to show you more about what you are able to do, to be perfectly honest. It might have something to do because I don't know what you do now, but I know what you used to do, and they're showing me what you used to do. Lisa used to run karaoke.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if Lisa still runs the karaoke, but they're showing me that as part of this. So it could even be something that she's doing for a living now that they're actually trying to raise her up, because sometimes what we do for a living isn't just about who we are. It's actually about what we're supposed to be giving to other people.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
I
Totally
level up on my psychic abilities. It's actually because they're suddenly people start coming to me. I'm like, oh, well, I was just learning about this. What the F? And that's why I learned about it.
Absolutely.
How you don't know.
Yeah.
And they need you to know about this, dum-dum.
Yeah.
So,
And sometimes it's all about being of service, and that's just it.
Yeah. What do you see something different? Because I could be very I know her.
Right. Well, I was going to go the more general route with Lisa's question, and I was going to say any dream or presence that's coming up on a repeated basis that you are remembering, those all to me are really signs that it's whatever it is that you're experiencing, that's significant. And because of the continued connections, and because there's like the 3 of them that are consistently there, I would start saying to them, hey, like, give me some information. Start asking them some questions. Particularly, I mean, anytime we receive messages and information, people at the beginning of their journey will often believe that they're passive in the experience, but we're not. We can ask questions, and we can ask for clarification, and we can ask for more information. And so you've obviously got a well-established connection with the spirits that are connecting with you. So ask them, what more do I need to know? And ask them to come in your dreams.
Yeah. And I honestly believe that one of them is her husband.
Beautiful.
I think he's the one that takes her to the pub.
Nice. Well, and I would imagine doing karaoke, pub would be a place where you would spend time. So,
and there would be a time of fun and frolic. And
absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you frolic, Lisa? So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it answers something. And if it doesn't, then message us again saying, no, ladies, that's not it. Ladies. Hello, Sydney.
Oh, dear. Awesome.
And Carrie agrees regarding Victoria.
Yeah, that was the energy down there that we were talking about. And Sarah's saying that she was woken up once by a demon in a friend's apartment. Oh my gosh, that is really intense.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now, how did you know it was a demon?
That's a really good question. I mean, for me, I would say it probably had a lot to do with how you feel. Like feeling very threatened
inside of you. Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a demonic presence, you will start to feel very scared, nervous, insecure about yourself. Yeah. Sick inside. Yeah. Good spirits, you'll feel here.
Yeah. Well, and
spirits you can feel here. And sometimes.
And just the way that you feel around, like a good spirit, a positive spirit, you'll feel uplifted, you'll feel supported, you'll feel good.
You'll feel some joy. Yeah. But that's when I say that, actually, you can walk into a room with a dead loved one in there and you don't feel joy. You feel despair. but that's more that you missed.
That's and that's like that's personal and spirit as opposed to
Okie dokie.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So Ruth, Bobbi has not bought the house next door yet, so it is still available.
Oh my God, well done, Ruth. I totally forgot. Like, house next door, what's she talking about? Oh yeah. I have to manifest a windfall of a bunch of money. Abundance windfall, because I want to build. Oh man, can you imagine what we could do?
Oh my gosh.
Build a massive wellness center and put orchards there.
Yeah, well, the property's pretty small, so we'd have a hard time putting orchards on. Oh, you mean like
we want a bunch of money.
If we did something somewhere else, you mean? Yeah, absolutely.
You take over that spot, they're going to do that development in Union Bay and actually do it right, baby. Anyway, sorry. Tammy has a very interesting thing that she said. About a week ago, my friend's husband passed away unexpectedly.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
At the approximate time he passed, I think 4:30, couldn't go back to sleep. Could his spirit have been contacting me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, there you are, whap.
Yeah. My grandfather passed when I was 17. It was the first Monday of spring break, and I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I have never been somebody to wake up early, particularly if I don't have to. And I didn't have to. I desperately had to go pee, and I was awake about 45 minutes later when my aunt and uncle walked in, and they said that he had passed at 7. The same thing happened when my grandmother passed. I was in my English class. I had my grandmother was the grandparent that I was the closest to. My grandfather who passed, I had the most difficult relationship with him. And I desperately had to go to the bathroom, and I just felt like crying. And at the end of the day, my mom told me that my grandmother had passed at that time. So yeah, absolutely. They definitely come and let you know that they're on their way.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And, yeah, I don't like to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. You just do what you need to do, and then I'll find out later. I don't want to know at the time. I don't know why, but I just because I like the rested soul. The journey from human to passing is just such a you poor creature. Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Now Carrie is asking if we really need time to re-energize, especially with health issues. And sometimes friends take it personally that you don't want to spend time with them or give them oh my gosh, Carrie, yes. Or give them energy. I've lost faith with them not understanding that because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Really,
and it's not
friends from it. Yikes. Those are your friends.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was going to say too, is that those people aren't your friends. I mean, there's so much that we deal with that the average person doesn't, that there's definitely downtime that's needed.
Oh, I'm constantly being told in my head, stop acting as though you are like everyone else, because if you're going to do something that's a little bit more, you're going to have to give yourself a little bit more. You have to
balance it out.
Doctors play golf.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I look at people who are counselors, because for me, that's probably the closest.
Oh, that's where we are. We're counselors. Yeah.
That's the closest in like the professional understood world. And most counselors will only work a 20-hour client week, is what it's called. So they'll spend 20 hours a week with clients, and that's it. And people are like, well, why wouldn't you work a 40-hour work week? Well, because the work that we do just involves so much more of ourselves that it is simply not possible to work a 40-hour work week.
We'd be no good.
Pardon?
We'd be no good. We'd suck.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd suck not only for our clients, but we'd suck for ourselves, and we'd suck for everybody else in our lives. And there wouldn't be any point. There wouldn't be any joy. There wouldn't be any life. So, I mean, if you extrapolate that further, even if it's not something you're doing on a professional level, you're still going through and experiencing all of that as well. There is definitely a lot of additional drain that comes with living in this world in that way.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know, but it's because it's constant in here too, for myself. Like I can, my biggest problem right now is there's not enough time in the day to do everything. And I'm a workaholic who expects far too much of herself, who push,
Mhm.
push. I will push myself, which is why I'm in the physical thing I am.
Right.
I'm aware. But anyway, I because I have clients who are trying to message me.
Yeah.
It's the reason I have the app. But then it's like I hear when you message me. And
Mhm.
no, 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 no. And then I run through that, run through that, run through that.
Yeah.
So I totally understand, Carrie, because our society even tells us how
Mhm.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You got to keep doing, because if you don't keep doing, then you're a lazy butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you fall to crap, then yes, go get some pills.
Mhm.
But other than that, we don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the mental sick day idea too. Yeah.
Mhm.
That one is so one, like, you are the perfect person to answer that question. I am the cautionary tale. You are I love that about you. You are.
Well, I mean, you talking about being the workaholic, I've been thinking back to when I first became self-employed, which was in my mid-20s. And at the time I had Savon Lee, which I made soap, bath, and beauty products. And literally I had about 6 months a year where I worked 16 to 20 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. And literally the seventh day, all I did was sleep, because after that, that was all I could do. So, I mean, I have come to this point because I had to, and because there wasn't a choice.
Necessity breeds
Yeah.
self-love.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I have been more and more resonating with the idea, focusing less on self-care and focusing more on pro-care, which is being proactive and supporting yourself instead of being in a place where you have to scrape yourself up off of the bottom, because that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, you're constantly scraping.
yeah, because
Which,
you spend so much more energy like scraping yourself back up and picking and building yourself back up than if you just taken a weekend off, or you know.
yeah, or some time for yourself. And
Exactly.
and Carrie, you're a mommy.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
there's
you
so
got that
much.
mommy pull too, and that is your priority pull. And then there's you. And then
Yeah.
if a friend comes and says, "But I need you," it's like, but you're a grown ass adult.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to sit back a second. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And I just want to throw this one out there for anybody who either has grown kids or doesn't have kids. So, like, I'm in that doesn't have kids space. There was a long time where I felt that my friends who had kids, who were parents, had more value or more need of my time than I had for my time. And I've come to realize that that is just not the case, because if
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
told me
okay,
to do that.
I'm not okay. You're
Yeah.
not okay either. So,
I'm the one with kids here. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
So,
having kids doesn't. Yeah. Okie dokie. Now, Allison Rose has a very interesting and very long question.
okay. I'm just going to say hi to Brenda because she said hi to us too. So, hi,
Oh,
Brenda.
Brenda. Hello, Brenda. How are you? I was actually just talking about you because it's like,
Oh, that's awesome.
and I said to my daughter, "Don't I know that little girl?" And she said, "Yeah, that's
Okay.
anyway." Okay. So
Okay.
Allison is asking about what you actually talked about earlier a little bit,
Okay.
about the time when you're trying to fall asleep
Yeah.
and the way the brain goes crazy. Do you want to
Yep.
read it? Or would you like
Yeah,
me
yeah.
to?
I'm going to read it out so everybody knows, but that we're on the same page. So I've previously spoken to Allison, and and I told her that she was clairaudient. And she said, "Oh my gosh, things I've been experiencing. I've been experiencing some things. When I'm trying to go to sleep, I often have random thoughts that come into my head that make no sense. I can never usually remember them because I'm half asleep. But it always throws me off, and I wonder where it came from. I just realized last week that I'm pretty sure it's spirits trying to connect with me. The other night, oops, I only put it up because I can't read the rest of it. So,
Yeah.
are you able to read the whole thing?
No. It starts. I asked the question about by what.
Yeah, and I can't. I'm sorry, Allison. I can't read the rest of the question. So we're just gonna kind of throw it out there and put it into a general question.
Yep.
What do we do with random thoughts coming into your head as you're going to sleep, and spirits trying to connect with you? For me, it's all about taking time during the day. When we don't take time during the day to connect with source, spirit, angel, whoever you're trying to connect with, whatever your belief system is, then the only time that they can connect with us is while we're sleeping. So if you're having disturbed sleep, or you can't remember things, or you are wanting to connect, make time during the day where you can allow your subconscious to play. And things that you can do for that would be like meditation, or creating time and space for quiet so that you can hear, see, feel, and know what they're trying to do, and set the intention that that is the time that they can connect with you.
Yeah. And everything I hear just rewords what you just said.
Okay.
Yeah. Make mindful moments.
Yeah.
And they actually even show you saying what I say. This is not the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I look ready.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. If you want to be heard, why you talking right now?
Exactly.
The time you talk is this. And they call them mindful moments in my head for Alice.
I love that.
You might need to have regular people words every now and again.
Yep.
Some people
Absolutely.
resonate better with the regular people words.
Yeah.
And that is not a judgment. It's just what your mind is very, very used to understanding, or even when I started, that's why I even call it my frou-frou, because when people would say, oh, your energy, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? I was, because I was born this way. So I didn't come into it as a metaphysical lover. I came into it as, I got to figure this out, or it's in,
I got I'm going to go a little crazy.
Yeah, not crazy, or there's something else going on.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I figured out there's something else going on. Maybe I am crazy.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now Linda's asked what our favorite meditation. I would say chakra for myself, for opening up.
Yeah.
Did you say chakra?
I mean, for me personally, chakra, I do more with healing. I do more healing stuff with chakra meditation.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, chakra meditation for me is all Reiki, and like learning Reiki and doing Reiki. So for me, chakra is more healing. I connect with the angels. So I really like doing meditation with Archangel Azrael, asking him for help and support with connecting on the other side.
Okay. Yeah. See, and the chakras, it's as similar as the Reiki to me. It just sets the energy pattern so that you're opening everything up and creating a highway of communication.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, okay. And you know what? Whatever's good. And one of the reasons I do the chakra at the beginning is because Ariana told me to.
I think we'll have to let her know.
Part of the mother-daughter pair that I first started meditating with. And I said, what should I do? I have a reading. How should I prepare? She said, here's the chakra CD.
I love that.
And ever since.
Yeah. I mean, the doing the chakras totally makes a lot of sense too, because it does definitely help to bring you into alignment. And I do incorporate that in my meditation, but my focus is really on connecting with angels to help with that communication. Cause that's who I connect with.
So. Those are your people.
Yeah. They're my peeps.
Yeah. They kicked you down here.
Right.
And said, listen. No, really, listen. Yes, I did what they said. Brenda has a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, specifically. It asked if I know why I was chosen to be a born medium.
Yeah.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
I honestly think that I'm going to sound like an asshole.
Okay.
I earned the position. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, that I've been there, done that. I did this, because I actually will see past lives. I see one very, 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 very clearly all the time lately. Yeah. Since the pandemic, because the last 3 years. I should just say last 3 years. You shouldn't say the anyway. It has come more and more clear to me as to why. And it's gift and a curse. But I'm not monk. But you understand, it is a gift and a curse, because you see the curses within it, because you were chosen to speak with angels. And within that, you have these massive highs and massive lows, I think. Because I realize every now and again, oh my God, they kicked me out and they put me here. Why did they do that to me?
Well, I mean, my experience with angels is not one of punishment.
No, I know. Yes. No, I just put it in human perspective.
Yeah.
Yes, is what I mean. Yes.
Yeah. And I think what I would add to that is that you were willing to work on it and to listen, because you did have a
I honestly heard
choice.
this time in my head.
This
I
time.
honestly heard that this time.
This time. But I mean, we all have choices. Even let's say that you were given the gifts that you were given because you were, but instead of figuring out how to do it, you said, hey, you know what, I'm just going to drown myself in alcohol and drugs, and I'm going to turn it off, and I'm just not going to do it. Right? Like that was a choice.
That was a choice, and I do see that.
But you didn't do it. So in a lot of cases, I think that the people who are chosen are also the ones who are willing to listen, to work on it, and to do something with it.
Yeah, because exactly. And I honestly believe we all have a psychic ability.
Absolutely.
It's you want to seek it, know it. And I would say every Aura Kelly in here
absolutely
psychic ability is, and that's why we're all here together to help them discover that.
Yes. I've shared this on my channel many times, but one of my favorite experiences with somebody I would call like a muggle. So a muggle is like a normie. I
call them normals.
Into it. Yeah. And so I was at BC Place, which is a huge convention center for a spirit show that I was doing. And part of the reason that this story sticks out for me so much is because I had recently broken up with my girlfriend, and this young man was absolutely beautiful. So I watched him walk across the convention center, beeline to my booth, and he just started talking to me. And he said, hey, like, I'm really interested in what you do. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? He's like, I don't do anything like this. I'm not intuitive or psychic or anything like that. And I started talking, and I said, well, like everybody is. And I started talking about the different ways that we can be intuitive and psychic and how we receive our messages and information. And he's sitting back and he says, well, I work in the financial industry selling some sort of financial product. And he said, as soon as somebody walks in the door and sits down, I know exactly what it is that they need. And so that's what I sell to them. And he said, in my industry, there's a closing rate between 40 and 50%. But he said, my closing rate is 98%.
Wow, right? That's what the person needs.
Because he just knows, and it's not, and he didn't come from a place of like I want to earn a lot of money or anything like that, or I want to use this person, but he genuinely wanted to get the person the best thing for themselves, and that was where his intuition and psychic ability came in. So I think it's really important to realize that we're all psychic. We all have intuitive gifts and abilities. It's something that we can all develop. The pathways that our deceased loved ones use to communicate with us, they're the same as what I use to do like my psychic work and stuff. And that everybody has the choice. And often the things where our intuition and psychic ability is the strongest are the things that we're the most passionate about.
Absolutely. And if you have a good, clear intention of joy,
you
are actually going to receive more information, and it's going to be clear, more clear, more clear, more clear.
Yeah.
Because it sets the pathway.
Yeah. Joy and help and healing.
Yes. I mean, I kind of put joy as like this. Oh, yeah.
Bigger.
I was not detailed to know. I like to say love, and that means pretty much everything positive.
Yes.
Fear means pretty much everything negative.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I got a little too generalized. I apologize.
It is okay. The only reason that I clarified that one is because if I'm starting to experience blocks, then I go into I'm here to be of service. I'm here to be of help. And my intention with all of my sessions, whether it's readings or energy healing or whatever, is always to provide healing. That's
And I actually say, okay, I'm not getting it. Give it to me in a way I understand. That's what I say. Dumb it down.
Give it to me straight.
Yeah, give it to me straight. Pick it down for Bobbi here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there is a naughty monkey.
Oh, do you want me to get in on them?
I got rid of one. He messaged for Phyllis.
Okay. All right. So I think this is probably a good time to mention that Oh, I'm not seeing them. You've already gotten rid of it. Um, to mention that sometimes we have people coming on soliciting readings or suggesting that they can offer you readings. I mean, if you're drawn, you're more than welcome to connect with them, but they have no affiliation with us.
No, no affiliation with us. Yeah. None whatsoever. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Brenda's asked if when someone's about to pass, if people can hear what they're saying to them. Passing away, can they hear what we are saying to them?
Oh, I see. Can the person who is crossing over hear as you're talking to them?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
I would say that I have seen people cross over and then go back to that moment and watch from like a bystander's position in the room.
Yeah.
That is something I have seen.
Yeah,
so
I've seen that too.
Would you say that's probably about the same?
I would. I mean, the other thing for me is when I see people having crossed over, I see them being fully aware, almost hyper aware of what happened at the moment that they left and through, and then the moment that they arrived on the other side. Like, I want to call that 3 seconds. And it feels like that's something that they are aware of.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it's always so. I'm almost in like the first person when I see it. It's almost too much, too close. Okie dokie. Yeah. All right. Oh. Okay, got me. There he is again.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me get it because I'm just gonna block them. I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry, sweetie.
That's okay. I got it. His name was Baba.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good.
Okie dokie.
Let me see.
Oh, now Jonas asked a question and then said, disregard because I see that you're not doing questions.
Yeah.
But actually, we can help you a little bit with that, Joan, because she says, thinking about my mom a lot lately. Does she want me to know something? Yes, most likely. Yeah. If you're thinking about her a lot, it's actually probably something that she's trying to tell you. Yeah. Say, Mom, you know it's me. How do we talk to each other? You might even have an inkling because you might see Mom and then get the thing. See Mom, get the thing. See Mom, get the thing. So pay attention to that, Joni.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to add to that is sometimes somebody will pop into your head because you're thinking about or doing something and they pop into your head and they're there a lot. It could be that they're wanting to specifically help you with whatever it is that you've been thinking about too.
Yeah, they're the ones actually trying to walk with you in that.
Yeah.
You kind of think of them as like they're sitting right there beside you, like in the movies. They're like, turn left. Turn left. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. That's why you're like, why do I want to turn left so bad?
Yeah.
Okay. This one I really love because we talk about this with the psychic advice thing with Holly here.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
No, you go right ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I see it.
Yeah. So Holly's saying, I'm dealing with people who like to give me unsolicited advice, and she specified unasked for advice. A friend told me I do too much for my 6-year-old. I said, how? She hasn't even seen me with my kids. Anyway, I'm trying not to take it personally and to take it as something she is working on herself. Perhaps the opposite in her case. How do I block out that negative?
Okay. You know where I flashed you because I'm a mom of 3.
Yeah.
So I know people love to give you unsolicited advice when you are a mother, like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And what flashed in my head is I got advice from a friend once, and I said, when you have kids, you can tell me how to parent. That's what I said to her. Now, to me, actually, why they said that in my head was you're not seeing it from my perspective. You're seeing it from the perimeter. So you have no idea where you're coming from when you're talking about it. And you know that, Holly, that she has actually no idea where she's coming from. So they want you to consider the source. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
If I'm walking up and giving someone unsolicited psychic advice, it's because I desperately need them to know I'm a psychic. I'm so insecure that I must blah, blah, blah.
Must get validation outside of myself.
Absolutely. If I'm hearing something in my head, I say, don't tell me, tell them. And if they're supposed to come to me, you know how to get a hold of me. That's what I say, because then they get the psychic advice they need. And then I know for sure it's not my ego going, look at me, I know something about something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so I just want to go back to Holly for just a second. And one of the things that I would do myself is go through the mental process, basically what Bobbi has just said, but come to comfort with that in yourself. Like, this is somebody who is offering something that, as you said, is unsolicited. I don't feel that way. This is not somebody's opinion who I value, because you've a friend. And if you did value their advice, you would ask them, I'm sure. So recognize that it's not somebody who you would go to talk to, and so therefore anything that they have to say about it is kind of irrelevant. And as soon as you come to that awareness and realization in yourself, then they no longer have that power over you, because you're in essence placing your own boundary. And so extending beyond that, part of your boundary could be, hey, you know, I don't need any help with this. It doesn't really have an effect or an impact on you, so let's not talk about it anymore. Or you can choose to leave the conversation, or there are a lot of different things that you can do. But once you come to that like healing place in yourself, then
I'll
have any power.
Nobody can get in there.
Yeah.
People used to be able to freak me out when they say psychics aren't real.
Okay.
Go, now I say, no, nothing's real.
Yeah. I mean, when somebody says something like that, all I can see is, wow, you're only living like this much of the life that could be this big. I feel really badly for you.
Then you don't know you're psychic.
Yeah. Carry on with your limited life.
You get butterflies in your stomach. What do you think is going on?
Yeah.
I didn't say dum-dum. Oh, it was 444, Lindsay said. Maybe we were talking about that at 444.
Oh, we must have been.
That's really neat. I didn't even notice the time. The time is
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I was just gonna say, Allison has added the last little bit of her question that we weren't able to read. Shall we we address that? And then so so Allison was saying, she was more asking, how do we tell if it's random spirits or if someone we know from this life?
Excellent question. That is the feeling you get inside. Yeah, you know when it's and if it's your loved one, you can say, take it a step further, because the loved one will put another sensor on top of it.
Yeah,
they'll either put like a smell or a memory or something that you guys both. And for some reason, I'm hearing loved ones will use dogs.
Oh, interesting. So that could be significant for Allison.
It might be, because I don't see that. Like, obviously I see them using dogs, but I wouldn't have said it. So it might actually be something specific to Allison.
And then, the other thing I was going to add on that, because I have to get in there with rules, obviously, as you're learning and developing, you can make a rule that the only spirits who can come and connect with you are your loved ones. And that eliminates the randoms altogether. Just no, I'm learning, I'm figuring things out. And then as you progress, you can say, okay, well, I'm more open to connecting with other spirits.
Yeah. And you can put a strong loved one at the gate. For my kids, when they'd have nightmares or anything like that, I'd say, well, you call grandpa.
Yep.
To get to the door.
Right. Have your spirit bouncer.
Yeah, have your spiritual bouncer.
Yeah. And I like working with angels, obviously. So I would call on Archangel Michael or anybody else, or angels, please just watch over. And this is all that I'm allowed. And it's kind of like creating a little sandbox.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Or your own little clique.
Yeah, exactly. So you can choose. And I think that's a big part that I would really love for people to really get and to understand, is you have choices in terms of who and what you connect with. If there is something that you aren't comfortable with, then the answer is just no.
Do you know what's super bizarre?
What's that?
I was going to go to that comment next.
Okay. Oh, I love that. I didn't even see that.
Wow. Well said, Sarah.
I love that. Love it. You're right on it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Holly is talking. About it's almost like psychic coincidence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, there are certain people I try not to think of. Because I know if I think of them, they'll email me or I'll run into them or something like that. So I just try not to think about them.
Yep.
Because I don't want to hang with them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, you know who you are. No, just
Get out of here, you. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad Lindsay is feeling this right. I'm glad.
Awesome.
And it's the right time.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Yes, last thing to do is hearing. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie, my friend. How are you feeling?
I'm kind of feeling like we should bring the conclusion. How are you feeling?
I feel very similar. I can't believe how quickly this went.
I know.
Very quick time.
Our intention is always to hang out for an hour, and we always hang out longer because you guys are so awesome.
Yeah. Because you can't get it all in an hour, and thank goodness we have so many wonderful people that come, so it keeps us on for longer.
Exactly.
And we love all of you, and we appreciate you like nobody's. Well, if we didn't have you, we'd just be talking to each other.
That's right. Which is okay. I mean, like, we like each other, so that's cool. But we're happy.
Things to talk about.
Oh, we'd never run out of things to talk about.
And our connections would just be one connection.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be
universally connect.
Yeah, it wouldn't be universal connections. It would just be Bobbi and Erin connection.
Yes. It'd just be us talking to each other. Yes.
Yeah. Which is better than talking to ourselves.
So we love you and we appreciate you like nobody's business. And I really learned that from these guys on Friday, because they really talked about how much they appreciated us, and I felt appreciated. I felt entertained, wondered, and appreciated, and I cannot. Yeah. Okay.
And we'd love to share that feeling with you too. So thank you all so much for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We will be back. Oh, next time is September 11th.
It is September the 11th. And I was just going to say, last week at the end of our show, we talked about doing the mirror manifesting, and I just couldn't do it. This week was a crazy week with no energy, and it couldn't happen. But September the 11th, we will talk about angels. So I'm going to have a couple of things prepared just because that's who I am and how I work. So I'll bring some information, but please bring your questions. If you have questions about angels, about archangels, about any angels, please bring them and join us.
So September 11th is Angel Day.
Yes.
On Universal Connect. Well, it's Angel Day. It's International Angel Day?
It's International Angel Day. And I had a
bang day.
Pardon me?
Like they needed their own day.
Right? What is this? Kids Day at the X?
I know. We don't have an International Psychics Day. Anyway.
Well, I think we should make that up. We will have an International Psychics Day. I think that'd be fun.
Have an International Psychics Day. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And on International Psychics Day, everybody should actually set an intention for the same positive intention, and we will see what we can do.
That would be amazing. Could you imagine? That would be awesome.
Sakes alive, that would be amazing. Yeah. Okay.
So
are you ready, my friend?
I was just going to say on International Angel Day, as we've talked about, 444 is all about connecting with the angels. Your angels are here with you, helping and supporting you. And since we're on at about 3:30 and we go until about 5, at 4:44, we will do a meditation next week.
Okay. And you're going to lead it?
Apparently.
Well, as far as I heard of it. So.
I think I'm calling in the helpers right now. Don't worry.
Yeah. Gabrielle. I just think you call Archangel Gabriel because, talking.
Yeah, talking. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I said Gabrielle because I try to make everything female.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I think I might be a sexist.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Can't even do it here. Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.